It would really be amazing if my nails were done. Okay, calm down. Girl, if you wanted me to pick whatever I wanted, it was just very jarring. We need to get a fantasy on here right now. Ew. Please, sir. I'm gonna choose this one down here, trying to hide in the middle. You know how I am. Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today is gonna be my first attempt at tackling the books on my physical TBR, and I figured a good way to do that would be to have my TBR jar pick my reads, and then we can do a fun reading vlog in the same video. I personally am not a TBR for the month type of person. I'm a chronic mood reader. I cannot read a pre-chosen list of books for the month. It should be up already, but if you haven't seen it, I just filmed a book haul. Books that I thrifted, Amazon, Barnes. So all of the books that I just bought and I showed in that haul are now on the shelf. So we have a brand new selection of books to choose from, as well as books that have been on here for a stupid amount of time. A year, 2 years, 3 years. So we may have some prompts that allow me to choose a Kindle book, an audiobook, or go to the library, buy a new book. But the goal is to choose books that are on this shelf primarily. I do have my brand new TBR jar here with us today. This would be amazing. It would really be amazing if my nails were done. I want to give my nails a break. We have yellow prompts as well as some pink ones for springtime. I've had them on like little scraps. You actually don't care one bit. I'm thinking 3 prompts. Depending on what 3 books we get, then we can do 4. However, if we get When the Moon Hatched, we're not gonna do 4. We'll see. I don't think I have anything else to say, so we can go ahead and start picking some prompts out. We're just gonna pick a normal yellow one. Let me pick this one. If I let you guys read it, that means you have to see my nails. Okay, so a book with a pretty cover. If you wanted me to pick whatever I wanted, that's all you had to say. I know exactly what I'm going to choose. Wait, stop, because where is it actually? My Dark Romeo by L.J. Shen and Parker S. Huntington. The only reason I bought this book is because of the cover. Because this book is available on Kindle Unlimited. I just couldn't help myself. This is so baby gorgeous. I am 1000% choosing this book. So the first book that we chose is My Dark Romeo by L.J. Shen and Parker S. Huntington. Let's choose the second one. I'm going to choose a pink one for this so that we get a spring prompt. I'm going to choose this one down here, trying to hide in the middle. A cover with bright colors. There's this hot pink one sitting right here. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Chain Gang All-Stars. This one. There's Kindred. I have so many colorful books apparently. Court of Wings and Ruin is here. All right, let's take the ones that we are considering. So we have these. I'm gonna try to choose something that is a little bit springy. I don't know what any of these are about, so I'm gonna have to just take a wild guess. This one does not give spring. And then we're left with these. I wonder if I'm ever gonna read this if I don't choose it right now. The word bright is in the title. I think I might have to choose this. I found out that this is actually about to be a Netflix show or movie. I don't know if it's a show or a movie, but that would be fun to read this before then. I think I want to choose Remarkably Bright Creatures. All right, let's go with number 3, a regular one now. Okay, let's go this one. Ooh, a book with a good first sentence. That's fun. Let's try Nightshade. Annalise was mine, my sweet solace, my English rose. But the first sentence before the period is Annalise was mine. Let's see what the Thorn Queen has. They keep forgetting to feed me. Who? Nope. Let's try our Vicious Oaths. Nope. I feel like the newer books are gonna have a good first sentence because I think that's a thing now. I think that the Thorn Queen did have the best first sentence. I feel the need to save that. I think I'm gonna go with Nightshade. I think Nightshade is not a fantasy. I think it's a dark romance. We need to get a fantasy on here right now. I won't be happy unless we do. Hopefully I can get a pink one that allows me to choose a fantasy book. Spring Beginnings, an author that's new to you. Never read her, never read her. I love this for me. Now I have too many options. What if I read the Book of Azrael? This is literally exactly what I asked for and I'm over here being ridiculous. Or we could really go crazy and choose something like this. I want to save that for something else. Or I can choose something brand new that I just got today. New beginnings. New beginnings. New beginnings means something you got today. I'm a Libra. If you didn't know, I can't make a decision to save my fucking life. So I think I want to read Jasad Heir. Are we doing it? I think I'm going to go with Jasad Heir. You have chosen 4 books for today's video. First for book with a pretty cover, My Dark Romeo, and I really hope I like what's on the inside as well. A book with bright colors, we chose Remarkably Bright Creatures. If I look like a fucking glazed donut every 30 seconds. Book with the best first line, I chose Nightshade by Autumn Woods. The Spring Beginnings, an author that's new to you, I chose Jasad Heir by Sarah Hashem. I'm excited about this lineup. Now we're gonna switch over to the reading vlog portion and continue watching if you want to see me read these books.
best scientific minds we have today.
So I started reading Nightshade. I am, I'd say like 40, 50 pages in, 46 pages in. I'm on chapter 5. I'm trying to decide if I like it or not. It reminds me a lot of Zodiac Academy. So if you like Zodiac Academy, I think you might really like this one. I think I do. I'm trying to fight it so bad and I don't know why. Basically, we have Ophelia. She got invited to go to this university. It's kind of a prestigious, infamous university. They're quite known for unethical reasons as well as producing very successful students. She's going to this school because her parents used to work on the property and she gets invited to go for free. She doesn't necessarily know why, but her parents have both passed away. That's on the back of the book. Her parents have both died. She's trying to get more clarity on how or why, or if this school is responsible, then who. She's just going to the school to investigate her parents' death. On the very first page, she runs into the heir, I guess, of this university. He's supposed to be like her sworn enemy. She's supposed to hate him. It's a very typical setup so far. They have this flirty banter immediately. He doesn't hate her. He has no reason to hate her. He doesn't even know who she is. It has a trashy, guilty pleasure type of quality about it. And I think that's why I'm trying to decide if I like it or not. But I think I need to lean into it and just kind of enjoy the ride. It has that quality that dark romance tends to have, which by the way, this is a dark romance. I don't know why or who told me or how I came up with the fact that this would be a fantasy book, but it isn't. There's no fantasy in this at all. I like the balance between dark romance, but then it adds the layer of mystery because she's looking for answers about her parents' death. Bending genres, multi-genre. I don't know why I'm like, I like it. I like it so far. If you like dark romance, I think this would be a good, well, I'm literally 40 pages in. Let me calm down. I will be back with an update. Okay, sorry about the wind. I hope it's not too bad. It's been 85 degrees all week and suddenly right now it's mad windy. I don't know. We spoke a few hours ago. I'm on page 199, chapter 17 now, and girl, I really like this book. It's so good. She's going to this school with the sole purpose of investigating the death of her parents, right? Cool. There's just a lot going on in a good way. It's not sloppy. It doesn't seem like too much. I just really enjoy the pacing and the way that this is going. It's a page turner for me. When you have books that blend into multiple genres, one of the genres suffers a little bit. Is it the best thriller that I've ever read? No, and I think I know exactly where the answers lie. I was really nervous about, he thinks this is a toy. It's not a toy. I think I was more nervous about the fact that they met and connected so quickly, literally page 1. And I thought it was going to turn into kind of like a lust-filled situation. The banter between the two of them is the banter that I like. I'm laughing out loud while reading this book. He does tease her a little bit. He calls her Twist, which I think is so cute. But he calls her Twist because she wears sweater vests and she wears her dad's old sweaters and cardigans and checkered print skirts and socks and stuff. So she wears uniform. No one else dresses like this. They say she has an orphan Oliver Twist type of aesthetic. They were in the middle of this little argument. He put his hands out and he was like, please, sir. I was laughing for about 2 minutes at that. I thought that was the funniest thing. Halfway in, we're kind of inching our way towards the development of their romance and it's getting a little bit more serious as far as how they joke around with each other. They just make sense and it's really working for me. But there's a lot of emphasis on her being lonely and her longing for a friend and her just wanting someone to talk to and all that. So it makes me want them to be together so bad because it's like they have a lot in common and they don't necessarily know it at this point. I'm about to finish out this last 50% and tell you all about it. I don't think I've flown through a book so fast in a long time, so I'll be back to give you guys an update when I'm done. And I'm comparing it to Zodiac Academy in the writing style and the way that it's paced and the way that it's kind of like watching a really good 2010s TV drama. That's the best way that I can explain this to you. I forgot to tell you guys the other thing that's going on, and it's on the back of the book, so it's not a spoiler, but the other thing alongside her investigating the death of her parents is that she has a stalker. There's someone who's sending her weird messages, they're leaving notes, they're doing silly pranks on her, and she doesn't know who it is. I think I know who it is. That's another thing that's just happening. I thought the way that the stalker was introduced was just a little bit silly though. She was signing up for something, so they had like a paper attached to the wall for you to sign your name, and her name was already on it. And then when she got to her dorm room for the first time, there was like a note on her bed and she looked at her roommate and said, did you do this? And then the first thing she was like, I think I have a stalker. And I'm like, okay.
He's one of the best scientific minds we have today.
I finished Nightshade. I think I love it. I think I loved this book. There's so many things in here that I would normally complain about in any other book, and for some reason it just worked. I told you that my main concern was that they met on the first page, and I was afraid that it was about to be very insta-lust, very insta-spice, and it wasn't. It wasn't. They have the cheekiest banter. They have the type of banter that I like. Very sarcastic. I feel like I just read about two people, two loners who have their own issues, but it just feels like they found each other in each other. It feels, I'm being so deep and sentimental. It teeters on dark romance to me, but not being so specifically dark romance. I would say it's more of a melancholy. I would say gloomy, melancholy type of dark romance. Not dark in themes or anything too triggery in the way that dark romance can be. I would say obviously still check the trigger warnings. We were following Ophelia and Alex. Alex is one of my favorite male characters that I've read about in a long time. He's such a little shithead. They're so good for each other. The second book is coming out in July. I would wait until the end of summertime to read this. I wouldn't read this now because this is fall. This is really fall. It references fall so many times. September, October, November. Christmas takes up a little chunk of this book as well, so it's very geared towards the end of the year. It takes place in Scotland, so it's always raining, it's always gloomy, it's always cloudy. I would personally either save it for a very rainy day or read it in fall/winter time. So let me read you this one part. Hold on, let me find it. This is when their romance is really getting like deeper. They just kissed and she said, when he pulls away, he looks happy. Not the silly fleeting kind about new purchases or shallow compliments. His eyes are glittering like the happiness has grown new delicate roots inside him. Ew. Okay, calm down. And then Ophelia is still trying to be in denial about their connection and spending time together, and oh, I'm supposed to hate you, and oh, we can't be doing this. And they come up with this little deal. It's a joke, but they come up with this little saying. He goes, we can eat dinner here tonight in his room. And he says, I've got instant ramen in the cupboard, jelly babies in the bedside for dessert. We can do a crossword or watch a movie. You spend the night in my bed if that's what you like. He taps his phone. It's almost 6 o'clock now. Give me until midnight for my own sanity. Let yourself be loved until midnight. Wait, it gets better. Her inner thoughts. I surrender myself to his stupid plan. And she agrees, midnight. And then he goes, midnight 100 years from now. I feel like a fucking dork. No. Midnight 100 years from now. Oh, my rating didn't tell you. So here's the thing. It feels like it could be a 5. But then the ending could have been resolved with a simple conversation. But am I going to take away 0.5? But am I going to take away 0.5 for a little miscommunication trope? I don't think I am. Let me sleep on it. So, great book. Is it going to be for everyone? No, it isn't. No, it's not going to be for everyone. But what book is, you know? Hi guys, I wanted to give you an update on the book. So I've started it. I'm on chapter 8. I don't have that much to say because I'm still in the very beginning. It moves very quickly, so that's a good thing for you. Then I would say that it does move very quickly. We have our main female character Dallas and our main male character Romeo. The book opens up and they're at a debutante ball in the South. It takes place like DC, Maryland, Potomac areas. It's like a Southern Belle type of atmosphere that they're trying to set up, but she's not a Southern Belle in the traditional way that you would think. She has a little bit of sass and she's not the norm. She doesn't listen to the rules. She has a reputation. The book opens up at the ball. He already knows her name, but when he puts a face to the name, he kind of sets his sights on her, basically wants to marry her. This is everything that happens pretty much first chapter. So he decides he wants to marry her. She's already betrothed to marry his rival in the business world, and he feels the need to take her from him, even though he doesn't like her. He thinks she's brash, she's impolite. He doesn't really like her attitude. There's a scandal that happens at the ball that could damage her reputation. So in order to fix it, they have to now be engaged. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's the setup. That's the first chapter of the book. I don't really have too high of an opinion on either of them. She is bratty. I don't think she's going to be my favorite female character. And so far, that's really it. I'm going to read a little bit more and I'll be back to give you an update maybe in like another couple hours. I don't dislike it. I'm just kind of indifferent at the moment, but that's just because it's too early to tell. See ya.
man. The kids listen to you.
Hi guys, we're back with the final updates on My Dark Romeo. Also, I got my nails done today. Yeah, that little give my nails a break thing, yeah, that's done. Couldn't take it anymore. I got white, short white, kind of boring. This is our transitional color. Anyway, final thoughts on My Dark Romeo. This book took me much longer to read than I thought it would. If that's any indicator on how well it went, then because ladies and gents, this wasn't my favorite. And I think I kind of messed up by putting this immediately after Nightshade. I should have separated the dark romances just a little bit better than I did, but this did not go that well. The rating that I've decided on is gonna be 2.5. I think the biggest letdown was just the synopsis in general and what I was expecting. It honestly was giving contemporary romance for a lot of it. That wasn't what I was signing up for, I didn't think. I realized I didn't actually tell you the synopsis of this book, so I'm gonna give it to you now. And you tell me what you would expect from a book that sounds like this, right? It says, some Romeos deserve to die. It was supposed to be a harmless kiss at a lavish debutante ball, a clandestine moment with a handsome stranger. But unlike his namesake, my Romeo isn't driven by love. He is fueled by revenge. To him, I'm a chess piece, leverage, his rival's betrothed. To me, he is a man deserving of poison, a dark prince I refuse to marry. He thinks I'll accept my fate while I plan to rewrite it. And in my story, Juliet doesn't die, but Romeo, he perishes. And then it says again, some Romeos deserve to die. So was I expecting the most happy, stupid, cute romance? No, I wasn't. I 1000% understand why one would give this 4 stars, 5 stars. I can understand why this would be a favorite book. It just wasn't what I wanted. Another thing that I think I realized about myself is I'm not a big fan, I should say, of the marriage of convenience trope. I realized this today. The reason being, what other way does that end outside of them falling in love? There's not enough high stakes. They're already married. I'm not gonna turn a book down if it has it, but it's just not my favorite. As far as our main characters go, I didn't really like either of them. I wanted to like Dallas in the beginning, but towards the middle end, she was just really irritating. Everything that she wants out of life is a child. She doesn't have any career aspirations. It's emphasized multiple times that she's lazy, that she doesn't work, doesn't have to work, doesn't want to work. She doesn't have an ambitious bone in her body. She just wants to be a mom. There's nothing wrong with her wanting to be a mom, but I feel like the way that it was used as manipulation in the relationship and the way that she kind of went back and forth between wanting to be with him and not wanting to be with him, and oh, I hate him, but I can use him and get a baby out of it. That got on my nerves. And then him, he wasn't that bad, but in this story, he was kind of the worst part of the story for me. He was just very rude in his inner monologue. He kept trying to like shit on her and her attitude, but his attitude was way worse. His attitude sucked. He was rude to people. In his inner monologue, he would be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have snapped at her. Maybe I should have said please or thank you, and then not correct it. He was just very off-putting. He was very demanding. He just had a lot of unlikable qualities. I want to say Romeo was like 30, 31, and then Dallas was 20, I think, maybe 21. And Dallas's personality type, she's not the societal norm. I told you guys this was debutante ball, Southern Belle type of society. She doesn't ooze manners. She doesn't ooze marriage material. She has a reputation, her and her sister both, for being a little bit unruly, which is why I thought I would like her in the beginning. Obviously, she's a little bit rebellious. She has a backbone. You can't really tell her what to do. I like those qualities in a character usually. However, it felt like there was a much bigger age gap than just 10 years. I never cared about an age gap in a book, so that's not the issue, but the way that she was written was just so childish and so immature, but then also trying to say that the only thing she wants is to be a mom. And I'm just like, for this to be considered a dark romance, I really didn't think it was that dark at all. Even the darkness, the lore for Romeo, he has all these childhood wounds and all these childhood scars that he's trying to fight through and cope with as an adult. When we actually found out what the issue was, I feel like it was just put there for us to feel bad for him. After all of the damage that he had done, how rude he had been, how unlikable he had been throughout the whole book, 70% of the way in, finally finding out what his problem is, it kind of was just thrown in for us to be like, his backstory actually to me completely did not make any sense at all. It was kind of like, you're rich. It just didn't feel cohesive. It didn't feel like it made any sense. Last couple of things, because I really don't like to talk negatively about a book for too long and I'm getting like worked up now. The spicy scenes were concerning. Something about a virgin really doesn't move me in this type of romance. It wasn't done nicely. It wasn't done in a sweet way. She was saying that she might get pregnant because he on her. It was just very jarring. Okay, hold on, wait. I don't know how far I can go with this, so I'm gonna stop. Yeah, so we can start the Jasad Heir, and I'll be back to fill you in on this one in a little bit. I have to walk my dogs because they're staring at me like, girl, what's tea? I'll be right back. Hi guys, so I wanted to update you guys on my book, and then I realized my first update was muted the whole time. I'm just gonna tell you everything that I was saying about the setup of the book, where we're at, and how I feel about it. So I'm reading Jasad Heir by Sarah Hashem, if I didn't already say. So far, I really like it. So I'm well over halfway into the book at this point. It's going really well. So this is a very highly political fantasy book. It's not a typical romantasy. Romance is not at the forefront of this book. It's a subplot. You know that it's gonna go there at some point, but right now, neither of them are interested, which is good for enemies to lovers. I'm going to do my best to explain this book because, like I said, it's so political. I'm just going to give you the gist. We have our main character, Sylvia, who is the lost heir of Jasad. I don't think I'm saying that right, but I can't remember how they say it in the audiobook, which is a kingdom that got destroyed. It's gone. There was a war and the Najals completely defeated them. Her grandparents were the king and queen. They were killed during the war. They basically made sure that she survived. Her dad was killed around the time when she was born, so she never really knew her father. And then her mom was kept in a tower. Everyone believes that the heir is long gone. They thought that she got killed herself during the war. That gets explained in the book. I'm not going to spoil that for you, how she survived for so long. But right now, she's lived under this secret identity of Sylvia. Sylvia is not her real name. She's in this little village where she's an orphan. She's made friends. She's an apprentice to this healer, I guess he is. She has magic abilities that no one is supposed to have because Jasad was the only kingdom left that had the magic abilities. If anyone finds out that you do have magic abilities, they kind of turn you in for execution. So she's been hiding her magic. She's not really completely in touch with her magic either though, because she has these cuff bracelets that hinder it and harness it. She feels it. She knows that it's there, but she doesn't know how to use it. The heir of Najal, which is the enemy kingdom of Jasad, his name is Aaron. Alongside her just going about life in the village, there's a trial that happens. Every kingdom gets to choose their competitor and their warrior. The heir of Najal is coming to their village to find his new champion. He stumbles upon Sylvia. She kind of almost completely blows her cover. He doesn't know who she is, but he knows that she must be from Jasad. So he basically tells her, I will protect your identity if you are my champion. And she has this whole internal battle because she's gonna be the champion for her enemy kingdom. It's against everything that her heritage and her ancestors are against. She's gonna be fighting for Najal. She's thinking that she's been gone from Jasad longer than she ever lived there, so what does she owe them? And that's where we are. So far, I'm here, and the trials were in the background, and they're about to get started soon. But this whole time, that's not what this book is about. This book is setting up the world building. It's trying to get you acclimated to the politics and the characters. It's very thorough. It's a lot to learn, and I don't even feel like I know the intricacies, but I don't mind. Now, Sylvia is great. I really, really like Sylvia. She has a backbone. She's strong. She knows how to fight. She's not naive. She has a lot of good qualities about her. And then as far as Aaron, I like him. He is broody. He's not morally gray, I wouldn't say. He's just a very serious, very controlled type of main character. He's not outwardly emotional. He's very logical. He seems very smart. We don't have much of his point of view at all. I think we've only seen like a couple pages of his point of view, and that didn't really give us too much insight as to how he feels about her, which is good. Like I said, enemies to lovers, I don't want to see you talking about how she looks. I don't want to see you lusting after her. Same thing with her. I don't want to see her lusting after him. There's a subtle appreciation for how attractive they may be, but that's it. They fight each other. If you like when there's an attempt to kill at least one time. I really, really like the side characters in this book. I don't know. So so far if I can trust them, but I know that I like their personalities. I like how they were set up. I like how they were introduced. It seems like they have a lot of screen time. I'm getting to know them, and they weren't just thrown in here to make it seem like these people are important, you should care about them. No, I actually care about them because of the way that they were written. I'm not really the type of person that ever cares about found family because I just feel like sometimes it is a little forced, and this just doesn't feel like that. I'm enjoying a lot of things about this book so far. I feel like everyone is very charming. It's a very charming book. But yeah, I don't have much more to say. I'm sorry that this is so long because I had to update you on everything that I've read so far. I'm almost 300 pages in, and I'm just going to continue to read it now for a little bit. I'll probably come back towards the end or after I finish it to wrap up and give you guys my rating. I'll be back later. Bye. Hi guys, so we have 10 pages, not even. We have like 8 pages left. I want to read it with you guys. The main conflict is about to be revealed, and it's about to hurt my feelings. So I have my iced coffee that's just a little bit extra light today. I don't know what happened. It's more of a latte, but it's fine. We're just gonna finish out this last 8 pages. This book, this is enemies to lovers. This is what enemies to lovers is. I had 10 pages to go and they finally kissed, and then something happens and they can't even be together. No one's confessed anything. No one said anything about how they feel about each other. There was no opportunity to even do that. That is what this is. That's what that's supposed to do. And the romance is in the subtleties of their conversations. It's the little tiny one-liners that really do it for me. I'm gonna read something to you. You know how I am. I have to read this to you. So something happens in one of the trials. Sylvia is distraught. She's angry and she's crying. This is her first time actually being vulnerable in front of Aaron. And they have this arrangement. Basically, he's ready to throw out the entire arrangement. And she's looking at him like, wait, what? We've done all of this. What could be the reason that you would be willing to throw away everything that we've talked about and everything that we've agreed to? And he says, what appeal can reason have in the face of your tears? I'm looking at you cry. He said, I don't give a about reason. You're crying. So whatever I have to do to make sure that you don't cry, I'm gonna do. Why would reason be appealing to me right now while you're crying? Okay, and then another one. So this is their first time kissing. They grab each other and it's just all cinematic and everything. The sentence is, we met in a collision that should have rocked the very foundations of the citadel. She said, how could I walk away after knowing how he felt in my arms? My name whispered in his wrecked voice. How could I allow anyone else to say my name after him? Honestly, this is more romantic than any book that has immediate attraction, immediate romance, immediate anything. I don't like to use that Y word. I don't like to use it. Yearning, I think it's thrown around a little bit too loosely, but this feels very close to what that feels like. And then they had like this little fleeting moment that was over so fast. It was over before it could even get started, you guys. Oh my God, it was so good. I think I'm gonna give it a 4.5. It was very confusing at some point. I mean, I get it, you know, but it was kind of a lot. But that was really, really good. As much as the politics did confuse me a bit and it was a little bit hard to grasp onto every single thing that happened, I think I like the characters so much that I don't care. I don't think I have anything more to say. I don't want to say too much. So now we are reading Remarkably Bright Creatures last but not least for today's video. Am I out of breath? I don't know if it's like a metaphorical deep type of book, just a fiction book or comedy. I don't know what this is. We can kind of discover that together, but I will read to you what the synopsis says. After Tova Sullivan's husband died, she began working the night shift at the Soul Bay Aquarium, mopping floors and tidying up. Keeping busy has always helped her cope, which she's been doing since her 18-year-old son Eric mysteriously vanished over 30 years ago. Tova becomes acquainted with... What is that word? Pronounce this word for me right now. What?
Curmudgeonly.
Curmudgeonly. Bad-tempered, surly, and difficult to deal with. Okay, a grouch. It's what it says. Tova becomes acquainted with a curmudgeonly Marcellus, a giant Pacific octopus living at the aquarium. Marcellus knows more than anyone can imagine. Ever the detective, Marcellus deduces what happened the night Tova's son disappeared, and now Marcellus must use every trick his old invertebrate body can muster to unearth the truth for her before it's too late. Okay, so this is like a little bit of a mystery. Okay, cute. The first page is Marcellus's point of view. It says, day 1299 of my captivity. So I'm going to start this and I'll be back when I have some first impressions or an update to give you.
Big up for Heir.
Hi guys, so a quick update on Remarkably Bright Creatures. It's very interesting because it has a very strong mystery element in the book. It's very intriguing because ultimately, you know, because of the synopsis that her son passed away during a boat accident. It's been 30 years since he passed, so you're following the main character Tova. She's an older lady and she's basically just going about her daily life. Everything has a place in her life. She's very routine oriented. She has this part-time job cleaning up the aquarium. Like the synopsis says, she bonds with this octopus. He doesn't really talk, but we do get his point of view in his quick chapters, and he's very smart. He makes fun of humans. You know that he knows something about her son. We're getting points of views from other characters in the book as well. I'm not going to really say what or who because I think that was interesting to find out for me while reading it, so I'm not going to say. And something that is a very clear plot twist is revealed before the 50% mark, which is very obvious. So I'm glad that they did that because it didn't need to be dragged out. We didn't need to be left on a cliffhanger with that one at all. But I'm glad that they revealed that, and it was the octopus that revealed it to us, not to the characters. So we're just watching the rest of it kind of unfold from there. And all of the characters are quirky and I'm having a good time. So I started reading it on audio on Spotify, and then I read like 100-ish pages of the physical book, but I prefer it audio. If you can read it audio, I would say read it through audio because it's just a lot more interesting that way to me. I can definitely see this being a movie. So far so good. I don't have much more to say other than that because a lot of it is gearing towards this mystery. I don't want to say too much. I am at like 64% right now, so I'm gonna be done soon, and I'm just gonna listen to the rest of it on audio. I think it's just a much better experience. I'll be back with an update in a bit. Update. I finished reading Remarkably Bright Creatures. That book was so cute. It was so wholesome. I'm gonna give it a 4. I really loved our main character Tova, but I didn't feel like we had enough of Marcellus. I could have used a lot more of him. I could have used a lot more emphasis or expansion of their bond and their relationship. Marcellus's wittiness and his fun facts and everything, his poking fun at silly humans. I could have used a lot more of everything. I could have been fine with that book being another 50 pages, honestly. It was a very strong mystery element to it. It was very prominent in the book, honestly, trying to figure out, or not even figure out because we know the truth. It was just kind of watching it unfold for Tova and for the other characters in the book. But overall, it was a very cute, very lighthearted, interesting, easy read. So I'm looking forward to watching that. Actually, hopefully it's executed well. It's Netflix, so I'm hoping that they do something with it, because a lot of the plot relies on this mystery. I don't want to spoil anything. The tone of the book was uplifted a little bit because I was listening to the audio, so I would recommend the audio 100%. I don't have anything else to say. We officially read 4 books on my TBR, and I'm gonna run this back and do this again. This was really, really fun. I love TBR jar videos. I love watching people pick prompts, and I really just wanted in. I wanted in on the fun, and this was my way to do that. I did end up giving Nightshade a 5. I think I'm just not gonna fight it. I'm just gonna give it its stars. My Dark Romeo wasn't the best. 4.5 with Jasad Heir, and then a 4 with Remarkably Bright Creatures. So I think it was a very, very strong reading week. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I did want to say really quickly, I mentioned it in my next video as well, but I really wanted to say thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe that we're building a little bit of a community over here. I'm not going to repeat myself because I thanked you guys in my other video as well. I just wanted to say that really quickly. It did not go unnoticed. I've been watching it and watching it and watching it. Thank you so much for watching, for clicking. Anything that you're doing to support my channel, I do really appreciate it. Continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Anything that you want to see from my channel, any challenges that you might want to see me do, please leave them below and I will do my best to get to them. And thank you guys so much for being patient with me. I'm trying. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.